Hi all, welcome to the Polco Minute, where you hear the latest best practices and news in local government and civic engagement. I'm Angelica Waddell with this week's headlines. Our first article today honors women's history. More than ever before. According to U.S. Census population data, 23.3% of our nation's major cities now have female mayors. The future of women's representation in local office is shining just a little brighter, but barriers do still remain. Almost 100 years ago in Seattle, Bertha Knight Landis made history as the first woman to be elected as mayor of any major U.S. city. The Seattle papers at the time reassured readers that Landis was not one of those nasty new women. New women cut their hair short, wore pants, and maybe even smoked cigarettes. Seattle papers instead promoted Landis as being plain and unassuming, saying that she went to church and didn't chatter too much. This is just a taste of the kind of judgment that women faced 100 years ago. Seems kind of funny today, doesn't it? So how far have we come as a nation? Certainly, we've made great strides, but it's obvious that we still have a long journey ahead of us. Seattle elected Jenny Durkin back in 2017. She's the city's first female mayor ever since Landis held the office more than 90 years earlier. Durkin worked for more than 20 years as a state, federal, and private attorney. She ran on a platform of building affordable housing and solving homelessness. These messages resonated with Seattle voters who welcomed 57 new residents to their city every single day. And while Durkin's historic win is worth celebrating, it also highlights some of the challenges that remain for female candidates. Durkin's opponent, Carrie Moon, faced harsh criticism from the press and the public. Moon has more than 20 years of experience working in the city of Seattle in a variety of leadership roles. But the Seattle Times said that her accomplishments were intangible and that she struggled to show management experience. Moon took some time away from leadership to raise children, so she did not possess the solid 30-year political history common among men competing for the same position. How then could she possibly be prepared to lead the city's $5.3 billion bureaucracy? Justifying credentials is a reasonable step in the climb to leadership positions, but women have to work a lot harder to prove that they're qualified. Research shows that voters will support a male candidate who they don't like, but who they believe is qualified. But the same is not true for female candidates. So, while glass ceilings around the country are shattering, it's still imperative that we examine our own biases and work to do even better. Next, we're going to cover some of the challenges faced by local governments when it comes to streamlining community engagement apps. The average local government organization has dozens of different communications platforms, apps, tools. These are spread across departments, and having so many disjointed tools for similar functions can create chaos as well as security and privacy concerns. This can also add up to be quite expensive. Polco CEO Nick Mastronardi wants leaders to stop pulling your hair out trying to manage so many different apps. Polco offers a single place for all community engagement solutions, and Mastronardi says the platform was deliberately built to save you time, money, and effort. By consolidating community engagement tools in one place, Poco offers a reliable source of centralized information. Different engagement tools and surveys on all different platforms in different departments make it difficult to see the whole picture, but Poco offers a streamlined solution. Survey data is gathered in one place and can be accessed by various departments of a city or other organization. As each department builds engagement and conducts resident surveys, that pool of respondents grows. We call that a panel. Over time, as that panel following grows, it gains a diverse range of residents interested in many different topics. And ultimately, This diverse panel offers community officials a more representative sample of their community. But what is Polco doing about the security and privacy concerns mentioned earlier? First of all, Polco never shares or reports individually identifying data. Results are reported in group form only. And Polco offers the option to verify residents so that you can trust your survey results. As a resident is registered on the Polco platform, they provide their name, zip code, and email address. Polco then verifies this information against voter registration records. This ensures that group data is populated by verified residents and not pesky internet trolls who may not even live in your community or bots. By protecting resident data in this way, the Polco platform offers a space where residents feel safe sharing honest feedback. And when resident trust increases, so do the number of creative solutions that can be achieved in your community. And finally today, we're going to wrap up our at the Eblin Group. They bring to the table a word that many are no longer so familiar with, and that word is agency. Agency is defined as a thing or person that acts to produce a particular result. And Eblin reminds us that we all have agency. We all have the ability to act and get results. But this power can be difficult to remember when we're woven into a complex organization or company. It can be easy to give your agency away and wait for someone else to act. Instead, Eblin experts say to use your agency like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? And the power of agency can be exercised by speaking up. If you have valuable information, insight, or perspective, then you need to share it. But don't just share problems. Take the time to truly think about the issues and break them down to their root causes. Senior leaders really appreciate insights when it comes to problems, but they appreciate insights to possible solutions even more. Always remember to reassess your risk ratio reward. Managers and junior executives often overestimate the risk of speaking up and underestimate the reward of doing so. So check your own risk ratio and reward ratio and reclaim your agency whenever possible. Thanks for watching the Polco Minute with me. My name is Angelica Waddell, Director of Communications at Polco National Research Center. Polco makes it easy for local governments to get accurate and reliable feedback from their communities. How are you keeping up with today's engagement issues and trends? Join a panel discussion with other local government leaders and us nationwide. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or send us a note at polco.us/contact to let us know if you're in.